Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. Yesterday, while I was on sick leave, BBC released a documentary, Blood Parliament. That documentary is trending at #1 on YouTube in Kenya. As at now, it has attracted over 3 million views and is still counting. According to BBC, they scanned and reviewed over 5,000 images and videos and positively identified 3 officers responsible for the elimination of Gen Zs during the anti-finance bill protest in Parliament. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenyans are very angry and Kenyans are bitter because even the KDF are involved.
Na baada ya kuangalia Blood Parliament ya BBC, najiuliza maswali mengi sana kama Mkenya. Hivi kwa nini hatuoni wale waliohusika kwenye maswala kama haya wakichukuliwa hatua? Manake ni watu wachache sana.
Wase, we are on our own. We are on our own. KDF tunawalipa mishahara, tunawanunulia hizo uniform navaa, mpaka hizo bude, it's our taxes. Then you come and bullet us and you kill us like this? Kai, wananchi, we are on our own. Have you watched this documentary? Iko out. Have you watched it?
I hope hii kitu nimesikia about our soldiers, the KDF involvement in the shooting pale Parliament during the Gen Z demos is false. I hope it is false. Because if it is true, mtakuwa mmetuumiza moyo sana. You are our last hope. Tulikuwa tunafikiri mtadefend wananchi. Without us, sasa, let's say, sisi wananchi wa Kenya tuko. Police, the military, na government mbaki. Mtaongoza nani? Wanajeshi mtakuwa mnalinda nani? Mtakuwa mnalinda nani? Sasa sisi hatuko. Tumetoka, tumeenda Tanzania, tumeenda Uganda, tumeenda wapi? Mbaki na Kenya. The military, the president na cabinet yake, na police mbaki. Mtalinda nani?
Kuna hii video ya BBC imeweza kuenezwa, lakini shida ni kwamba hawakuchukua mtizamo wa serikali. Ukiangalia katika ile video, hata Mheshimiwa Rais hakupewa nafasi ya kuzungumza vizuri. Kwa hivyo inaegemea upande mmoja, na inaonekana pengine kuna nadharia fulani ambayo ilikuwa inajaribu kusisitiziwa na chombo kile cha habari.
In this video, I want to give my opinion about that Blood Parliament because I'm disappointed. I also watched parliamentary proceedings today, and I don't know this Mandera North MP Bashir. Listening to him.
BBC World Service has attended to this matter in a way that also looked at the Kenyan society or African society as something that discriminatory, sort of, if I may say so. Honorable Speaker, it looked like our media stations also picked it up without questioning how BBC World Service aired the story. It happens world over. People are killed, our people are killed, we sympathize, we moved on. Even world over. Remember, there was the same issue or similar in Capitol Hill. BBC World Service never took the opportunity to say something. It happened in London, they never said it. It happened in many...
But KJ is not proving to be worse than Joseph Kamoto.
And we understand, Mr. Speaker, even in media, that the BBC is funded by taxpayers' money in Britain, meaning that BBC is funded to push the foreign agenda of the British people internationally, Mr. Speaker. And so we must know, is BBC speaking as a mouthpiece of the government and the people of Britain? Or what is it that the BBC is doing? Could it be an attempt to untwist this country so that they can rescind on the rider that we put on their training of the Batuk units in Kenya, Mr. Speaker, and perpetuate a history of extractive economy, oppressive economy, and exploitative economy in a very unfair trade balance between Kenya and the UK. Mr. Speaker, even as we debate this matter, it is not lost to us that yes, there were unfavorable events that took place in the time and the lead up to the finance bill.
And if there's one thing which will take William Ruto home, is that anti-finance bill protest, especially the rage of the Gen Zs. They will not forget it easily. And I think Millie Odhiambo got it right here.
Yes, Millie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank Honorable KJ for urging that we speak soberly about this issue. And Mr. Speaker, I wish to speak soberly about this issue. And sometimes when you're in leadership, you have to take the road less traveled. And on this issue, I want to take the path less traveled. Mr. Speaker, we lost many young people. And we have very many young people who are traumatized as a consequence of what happened. Mr. Speaker, it is a point in our country that all of us wish never happened, but it happened. Mr. Speaker, I think we have not handled this issue well, and that is why sometimes you find people from outside are coming to document this. If as Kenya, we were able to acknowledge that things went wrong and we need to fix it, then Mr. Speaker, even if BBC aired it, it doesn't matter. We have to fix our own problems on our own. We don't have to wait for BBC to tell us there was something wrong. I have a problem with the title that they've given, but which is typical of any media house because they want it to trend and then want it to, yeah. And because of that, Mr. Speaker, they may have given it that title. But Mr. Speaker, we have not yet dealt with some of the issues. We have dealt with some, but one of the issues we have not dealt with is the trauma. Mr. Speaker, I said it when Honorable Elachi lost the son. Mr. Speaker, we have a very angry young generation in this country. And part of the anger is on the issues that we are seeing, Mr. Speaker. And we cannot bury our heads in the sand, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let Parliament take the lead. And let us find a way of helping these young people to heal. Because, Mr. Speaker, we don't know what may come in the next few months, next year, or whatever. And furthered by the fact that we have very many young people who are jobless, who are frustrated. And if these people, I don't know what their intention is. Their intention could be fuel more harm and whatever. I don't know what their intention is. But from the young people that have spoken, it has actually created more anger. We are taking them back to the path that they would rather not walk again.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to give you my opinion. But before I do that, allow me to also give a huge shout out to our today's sponsor, Carotex Computers. If you're looking for reliable and quality computers and accessories, then Carotex Computers is the place to go. They offer both brand new and refurbished laptops, desktops, tablets, and a variety of computer accessories. They are located at Nairobi Bazaar Plaza along Moi Avenue, Meza 9, first floor, room number 7, unit 3. They also deliver nationwide, which means you can conveniently place your order through their website, which you are seeing on the screen there, and of course is also pinned in the comment below. Ladies and gentlemen, that documentary by BBC is an eye-opener for Kenyans.
Na si ndo nafanya wananirushia gas na madaktari nitawatibu aje na ni wenzenu. Aje. Na nilipuli hadi anesthesia ikilipukia watu nitafanya nini na mnatibiwa pia nini? Na sibagui. Sad, it's bad. Kuna wagonjwa 10 watu wanakufia hapa tu ambulance hizi fika.
things or four things only. Number one, it has now proved that the protesters who stormed Parliament were actually unarmed. When the president addressed the nation at that time, he claimed that the protests were actually infiltrated. Based on the BBC documentary and the names of the people they identified who were shot there, students, engineer, and even the people who intervened, like that journalist hero, the student, was also a fellow student. No thugs. And because of that, Kenyans are angry and bitter. They were unarmed. Number two, the failure by the government to take action. It had to take BBC for MPs to raise this matter in Parliament. I don't come from Mandera North, but I can address at least one or two people from Mandera North. That MP, Honorable Bashir, please, you can do a favor to Kenya by sending him home. He does not deserve to be in that Parliament. Other MPs were clever enough not to talk about that issue in Parliament. But the question is, why is it taking too long for IPOA to conduct their investigations? Is there the need for taxpayers to continue paying officers at IPOA where they can't conduct simple investigations? Because after the BBC aired that story, Kenyans have actually identified those police officers. I just can't put their names here. But if you go to Twitter, you'll see Kenyans identifying them, including their names. IPOA cannot do that. Which means maybe there's a plan to try and hide the truth. But truth can never be hidden. It will explode one day. Number three, and this a position I had always maintained, there were attempts to link Rigathi Gachagua to the Gen Z protest. I don't see any link. Those were Jabba stories. Those were stories intended to lay the grounds to impeach Rigathi. Because personally, based on the way the Gen Zs were organized across the country, I doubted and still doubt if Gachagua has the capacity to mobilize the way the Gen Zs mobilized. And if he has that capacity, then he's going to send William Ruto home. And lastly, the rage against this government is boiling. Today the cabinet met and the finance bill is safe because they're not going to add any taxes. But I know Kenyans will go through that finance bill line by line, word by word. The rage of Kenyans are high. The question which is remaining is, will it explode or will William Ruto manage to cool it down? I have unsolicited advice to the president. Mr. President, you are running a country I know, even you know, you love. The best thing you can do to this country is to stop three things. Public wastage. There is no need of members of parliament, senior government officials going for seminars, spending in big hotels. Reduce those spendings. travels. And you can do that by starting with yourself as a president. There is no need for you as a president to use 2 military choppers to carry you to go to a place to open a school. The second thing you can do to this nation, and they'll remember you, is to escalate the war on corruption. Kenya will remember you for that. And lastly, figure out how to secure employments to youths or create conducive environments for the young people to thrive. You can do this not the way it is done today. It is very saddening that right now, TSC is issuing MPs with letters. With employment letters to go and issue in the villages, in burials. Which means if you are a trained teacher and you don't have any contact of any MP, you can't get, because any MP has a relative, a cousin, name them, who require those jobs. So they'll give those people their priorities. So just be fair. Let systems work. Let TSC, if you graduated in 2020, someone graduates in 2021, someone in 2022, let the person who graduated earlier gets absorbed like that. Kenyans will remember you. The young people needs to be talked to. Organize a seminar, meeting with them. They listen to you. Always feel sorry when you are on the wrong. Everybody make mistake. Not all the time you are right, Mr. President. If you do that, your campaigns will be easy. If you don't, this young generation, they are in a different era of smartphones, of videos, of technology. They'll be playing those clips for you. Until next time, this is Makwiny. Bye-bye.